Now, you're listening to Midweek Voices, and for this part of the programme, I want to talk to a very talented man. He's a guitarist, a composer, and a singer. His name is Robin James Hurt, and he has a new album out and also wants to tell us about his songs and performing and living in North Wexford. How are you, Robin?
Very well, Dan. It's a pleasure. Thanks very much indeed for taking the time out to talk to me. It's great to be on South East Radio.
Now, the first thing we'll do is, will you play a tune for us?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's play a song called The Morning Mist, otherwise known as The Birds.
Story, you watch the paint peel from the picture, and you know she's a saint. Still you stutter words that you would never utter when you're self-aware. Now you're told it's grown so wistful. Remember back when we'd stumble in the dawn, our heads full of words, screaming out the songs, screaming out the words at the birds, the birds, the birds, oh the birds, the birds, the birds, oh the birds, the birds, the birds. So come on, brother, no, we're not gonna go. Follow the August, turn the yellow brick road. You know that yellow is a cowardly color, don't you know? And why is your toe grown so wistful? Remember back when, in the morning mist, we'd stumble in the dawn, our heads full of words, screaming at the songs, screaming at the birds and the birds, the birds, the birds, ah the birds, the birds, the birds, ah the birds, the birds, the birds. Came so far on your own, went so well from the get-go. On your own it falls apart. Came so far on your own, went so well from the get-go. On your own it falls apart. It falls apart. It falls apart. So come on, brother, no, we're not gonna go. Follow the others, turn the yellow brick road. 'Cause you know that yellow is a cowardly color, don't you know? And why is your toe grown so wistful? Remember back when, in the morning mist, we'd stumble in the dawn, our heads full of words, screaming out the songs, screaming out the birds and the birds, the birds, the birds, all 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 the birds, the birds, the
The Morning Mist there from Robin James Hurt. And Robin, that's part of a new album?
It is. I've got a new album I've just released called And We for One Another. and it's a collection of songs that I recorded at home myself in North Wexford. I live just outside Castletown, a wee place called Kilmichael Point. And yeah, I'm very proud of it. I've recorded it all at home on tape using old equipment to give it a nice old kind of analogue sound, and I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Now, tell me a bit about yourself. You were born in Belfast.
I was born in Belfast in 1971 during the Troubles, and then my family moved to Scotland. We weren't originally from Belfast, but we were living there. My father was working there, and we moved to Scotland then when I was 4.5, just to get some peace and stuff, just my mum wasn't really enjoying it. Moved to Scotland, grew up there, and had a wonderful time growing just outside Edinburgh. And when I was 18, I met a chap called Martin Fury. He's the son of Finbar Fury, famous Irish musician. He's a singer and guitarist and musician himself. And we formed a band and we moved to Ireland. And the band hasn't lasted, but we kept in touch. We still play together sometimes, still friends. And I've been in Ireland ever since, first in Dublin and now happily in Wexford.
And you played with some of the big names in Dublin down through the years.
I've played with a few people, yeah. Well, I played with Martin's father, with Finbar Fury, and I've done a few, I've just played as a session musician over the years with lots and lots of people. So played with Ronnie Drew from the Dubliners, late great Ronnie Drew once, with Sinead O'Connor. I did a thing with her. Hazel O'Connor as well, actually. I did some work with her. Camille O'Sullivan, who's a great Irish singer. She's appeared in Wexford in the Opera Festival before. And a whole bunch of other people as well. There's a band called Gail Schlee, a fellow called Garrett Wall, who lives in Spain now, who was big in Ireland back in the 90s, Naomi Coleman, loads and loads of people. A band called the Cocktail Twins, who some of your listeners might be familiar with. They're quite a well-known band from Scotland. They kind of collaborated and stuff with members of them as well.
So you're a guitarist and you sing, and it says here you have a lifelong love for folk music, particularly from the traditions of Ireland, Scotland and England. So that kind of defines your type of music.
Yeah. It's one of the things I've always had a real interest in ever since I was a kid, and it's just always really kind of connected with me. And from working with Martin, he taught me a lot from his father's band about Irish traditional music and just the whys and wherefores and the heres and theres, and just from going to sessions and playing in bands with great Irish trad musicians, I had the great pleasure of working with some. So you kind of immerse yourself in stuff and you research and you learn things about the music and where it came from, and I find that really interesting. I did a song on my last album about North Wexford, actually, about the battle, one of the battles in 1798. There was a song, an old lyric that I found called "At Monaseed on a Summer's Morning," and I couldn't find any music for it, so I wrote my own music for it, and it was on my last album there. And a few local people have expressed interest in it and told me some more stories about the characters behind it that are mentioning it since then. So I love that connection. I love immersing myself in that sort of thing.
And next year is the 225th anniversary of the 1798 rebellion, and lots of 98 songs there. Are you familiar with them?
I'm familiar with a few of them, of course. The classic ones like Bull of Vogue, and I mean there's so many. Like there's you've got Kelly the Boy from Clan. There's so many songs over the years that have been written about that time period, and it's something like that I like to. That it's I mean. When you live here, I've only been living in Wexford and County Wexford for 6 years, so I'm still obviously a complete blow-in, as you can tell from the accent, but you realise, just from looking at family names and things as well, that the area it's like a lot of Ireland, rural Ireland, it's very deeply, deeply rooted, and you could be singing a song that goes back to, 1798, but there are families that are still here that are connected, that have the lineage back to that, and especially when you're dealing with things from the 19th century, the late 19th century, the evictions and things around here, and songs and things about that, there's definitely still, you can sense there's still a very strong sense of interest within the community in that,
Do you perform now around County Wexford or in the southeast of Ireland generally?
I do, and that all sounds very po-faced there, all that stuff about the history. I play a lot of gigs now, having a lot of fun, because I gig full-time as a musician. It's what I do for a living. It's what I've always done. And so I play a lot of pubs and things around South Wexford and all around County Wexford, just bringing songs, not just Irish songs, sing-alongs, crowd songs, depending on the crowd on the night. I love playing Wexford. The audiences in Wexford are absolutely fantastic, and particularly along the south coast there, some great pubs, yeah.
And, tell me about some of the places where you've played.
Well, I love playing in Colfers in Carrigombano. John Murphy is a great friend of mine, and I love playing music with him and playing in his bar there. And also in O'Brien's in Duncormac, I'm playing there. I've got a whole bunch of dates coming up there over the next few months, actually, so keep in touch on my website for details, or keep in touch online. Culleton's in Kilran. So I think it's the 25th of November. I'm playing Culleton's in Kilran. I'm also playing a whole bunch of other Keogh's in Kilmarquee. I'm playing there for New Year's Eve, in case any fancies doing anything for New Year's Eve. I'm playing Keogh's in Kilmarquee, and a whole bunch of other little pubs around South County Wexford. I'll be playing a load of dates over next year. So if you keep in touch with me on Facebook or Instagram or on my website, you'll find all the gigs there.
And have you played at the famous Phil Murphy weekend?
I have. It's a real pleasure, actually. I love that. I've played there 3 times now, and I usually play the Sunday afternoon session there. I play on the stage on the Sunday afternoon, and it's a real pleasure. The thing about John Murphy and the Phil Murphy weekend is he just has this small pub in Wexford. He's so respected in the trad community in Ireland and around the world that you get like really big names all coming down and playing in his pub in Wexford. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's the best weekend.
Well, you've got a great website, and it's called Robin James Hurt, which is fairly simple.
That's me.
And I presume that's the place to go to find out where you're playing, number one, and also the information about where to get your latest CD and album.
And We For One Another. Yeah, it's a song, actually. There's a song on there, and We For One Another is a line from one of the lyrics of the song, and that's relating to around the time of the United Irishmen as well in 1798, so there's another connection there. And yeah, robinjameshurt.com, or else follow me on Facebook, Robin James Hurt Music, or on Instagram, Robin J Hurt, and you'll find all my gigs there. I'm always putting up details of the gigs online there, and on Twitter as well, so really easy to find me all over the net, and I'll be knocking into a pub near you in Wexford very soon as well.
Well, Robin, it's a pleasure to talk to you, and good luck with the album, good luck with the career. I think it would be appropriate now for you to go out with maybe one more track from the album. Which one are we going to hear?
Well, I've got a new single out now to promote the album, and it's a song called The Keech in the Creel. And a keech is a Scottish word, and it means a fisherman's catch, and a creel is a wicker basket, and it's basically a story. It's a little story song in Scottish dialect, all about a young man and his love for a young girl, and her parents, her mother particularly, kind of getting in the way, trying to stop them getting their hands on each other. So I'll let the song do the talking.
Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. A fair maid, she went up the street, some whitefish for to buy, and a bonny clerk's fell in love with her, and he's followed up by and by. Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. Oh, where live you, my bonny wee lass, I pray you tell me true, and though the nicht be so dark, I'll come and visit you. Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. My father locks the door at nicht, my mother keeps the key, and though you weren't such a roving blade, you can't come into me. Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. But the clerk, he had a young brother, and a wily wight was he, and he has made a lang ladder with 30 steps and 3. Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. He's made a cleek bit and a creel, the creel's put in a pin, and he's a wanted a chimney top, and he's letting the bonny clerk in. Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. Now the old wife couldn't sleep that night, though late was the hour. I'll lay my life, says the silly old wife, there's a man in her daughter's fur. Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. Rise up, my old good man, and see if this be true. Well, if you want to rise, and rise yourself, I wish the old chiel had you. Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. Then up she rose and down she goes, and into the creel she flew, and a clerk's brother at the chimney top, well, they found that the creel was full. Ricky-doo-dum-day, doo-dum-day, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-day. He He's hauled her up, he's hauled her down, he's gain a rick for. Tell every ribbon he always say, play knick-knack with the war. Ricky-doo-dum-dee, doo-dum-dee, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-dee. Here we go. I think he's got me now. Ricky-doo-dum-dee, doo-dum-dee, ricky-dicky-doo-dum-dee. Ah, Ginard Nick has caught you now. I wish he had you first. For between you and your own daughter, I never get any rest. Ricky-doo-dum-dee,